Today I will be talking on awakening of Kundalini energy in human body. At the outset, I would like to inform you all that there is nothing known as awakening as such for the cosmic power, because the cosmic energy is conscious entity. It is always awake in the literal in the sense, but we are using the word awakening loosely just to distinguish a phenomenon, and that phenomenon is when the cosmic energy starts retracting back. Initially, when the for an individual world is created for a human being, the cosmic energy is in outbound mode, projecting outwards. It originates from the soul or the spirit, which is at the core of every human being, and it starts projecting outward through the senses. That's creating that kind of illusion for the human being. And when this, at some point, by using some yoga technique or some tantric technique, if this energy is instigated to start retracting backwards, that point is called awakening of energy in loose terminology. It is just to distinguish this phenomenon. Now, this how this is achieved means how the energy is instigated to start retracting back. After all, it is a very what you call divine power, and it is a cosmic power. For all that, uh, any effort, any amount of effort put in by any individual will be insignificant. So therefore, so many yoga systems have been developed, tantric systems have been developed since ancient times. I will not go. I'm not a expert on any particular independent yoga system or a tantric system. However, I will try and give you the broad picture, the overall picture as to how it is affected. In case of, for example, if you take the case of Ashtanga Yoga, it is also popularly called as Raja Yoga. In that, what they do, they make the individuals focus on a particular object or any idea or any part of the body for that matter. And when the individual is able to continuously maintain his concentration without a break, at some stage, the mind slips into a state of called samadhi. Means the object on which the person has been focusing till now, it will vanish, and the mind, without its all of a sudden, it will slip into the a state of thoughtlessness. The moment it is slips into the as it starts slipping into the state of thoughtlessness, the karma start getting burnt. The accumulated karma within the individual, it start getting burnt. This point, when the karma burning has been triggered, is also called awakening. Because when we say that the energy is retracting, when it starts retracting backwards or inwards, we talked about it, that is called awakening in loose terminology. Therefore, what happens when it starts retracting is karma starts burning at the background. Either you say that the energy has started retracting backwards, or you say that the karma has started burning down. So that's how it is going to be. And soon after, the individual will come back to his normal state, and next day again he will start practicing yoga. However, the energy has already been triggered now. The threshold has been triggered. The awakening has already occurred. Same thing in case of other yoga systems like Bhakti Yoga. Someone is, let's say, worshipping Lord Krishna. Day and night, he has been worshipping him for long years. The intensity of devotion has reaches such a point. At some stage, Lord Krishna disappears and the mind slips into something known as Bhav Samadhi, state of thoughtlessness again. And the moment it starts slipping into state of Samadhi, again the process which I explained earlier, the burning down of karma begins, which also means awakening of energy. However, in Bhakti Yoga, they don't use the word Kundalini energy. They use some other terminology called Ahladini Shakti or something for Kundalini Shakti. Because as such, Kundalini Shakti is called by 1,000 different names. So, different yoga systems, they may be calling by different names. Same is the case with the other yoga systems, or for that matter, tantric systems also. For example, let us take the case of Hatha Yoga. In case of Hatha Yoga, what they do, in one of my previous videos, I explained to you that there is something known as life force inside every human body, and one is called Pran and another is called Apan. They are both pulling at each other. Pran is trying to go up and Apan is trying to go down. So what they do in Hatha Yoga, what I understand is that by using Yoni Mudra. Yoni Mudra means basically they block both the nostrils, mouth, both the ears, and they also block the anus or the with one leg, and with the other leg they block the genital organ as well. So all the apertures have been blocked. So what happens when during pranayam, the prana is pressed down, it mixes with the apan at the base of the spine, and since it has no place to escape, it forcefully break opens the entrance at the base of the spine and starts entering into the hollow channel of this central spine, which we call it, the entrance we call it as Brahmarandra or Brahmadwara. It's not Brahmarandra, sorry, it is Brahmadwara, means the door of the Brahman. And the moment it is opened, it forcefully starts climbing up the what we call it as Shushumna Nadi. Of course, they say that it is a little quite painful in this particular way if it is awakened. Similarly, in case of people who follow the path of knowledge, we call it as Jnana Marg, or Hindi people call it as Gyan. In that also the same thing happens. However, the threshold when it's triggered, upon which the awakening occurs, they refer it to as a state of the mind called prajnan. In Hindi, we refer it to as pragyan. If you remember, our lunar rover was also named after this word, pragyan, when the Indian lunar mission went. So, and similarly in case of karma yoga also. In karma yoga, what happens? People try to practice kind of a dispassion in their day-to-day life. And when they achieve such a state of mind, wherein they are able to ensure perfect dispassion kind of a thing, karma starts burning down. Or rather, it doesn't get recycled back again into the psyche. So there also we call it as awakening only. So in a nutshell, awakening of energy means burning down of the karma, or the reduction in the stockpile of the accumulated karma of a person. It is as simple as that. We have so many philosophies, so many religions, so many theories. All this, all religious teachings for that matter, everything is basically geared to achieve the state of this threshold to trigger this awakening of the energy. These are all means to this end. By themselves, they are not going to bring about any enlightenment to any person. All philosophies, all religions, call it anything, all scriptures. However, what happens in the process when a person is preparing himself, the three gunas, every human being is born with a mixture of three gunas or qualities. We call it as Rajogun, Tamogun, and Sattvagun. They help in attaining a kind of an equilibrium among these three gunas. When that equilibrium is reached, it becomes easy for the Shakti to awaken or the energy to awaken. And that's all. Spiritual journey of a person begins precisely when the stockpile of karma starts reducing, which means it is getting burned down, or call it is getting neutralized, call it by whatever name you wish. But for this point to get triggered, all these things which we have talked about, religious practices, bhajan, kirtan, devotion to God, all kind of practices are undertaken. But the journey will begin only from the point when the energy gets awakened. This is the crux of the spiritual journey of a person, or we call it the awakening of Kundalini energy, or call it by any other name also. So that's all I wanted to talk to you, basically about what awakening of energy is all about, so that if anyone has any misunderstanding about the concept, that is, I hope it will get more clarity on the topic. Thank you very much.